Hello, good evening and welcome to 2020 Menopause Survival Guide. Michelle Zelli is going to be joining us shortly, so I hope you can see and hear me okay, and I hope you've all got your gin or your wine or your kombucha or your seedlip. It's Tuesday night, I'm having a cheeky G&T tonight, so just a small one. So hi Kerry-Ann, welcome. Michelle will be with us shortly. I'll be able to tap her in, so we're looking forward to an evening with you all. Please do ask any questions and put them in the comments and I'll answer them. I'll try and answer them for you. Having technical problems, so bear with me. Hello Breeder, how are you? Hope you got your G&T ready. Have you got your G&T, Kerry-Ann? Or your wine? Hello, Nina. Hello, I'm Runner UK. Nice to see you. Hi, Michelle. Going to let you jump in.
Yay!
Hello.
Technology. Good evening.
How are you? You good?
I'm good, thank you. How are you, my darling?
Yeah, not too bad. I look in the dark here, don't I? I'm trying to keep it all sort of...
You do look in the dark.
I've got a little candle going there and my cocktail shaker.
You got it all romantic.
Yeah, shall I put the light up a bit more? Can you see me okay? Or am I a bit too dark?
I can see you perfectly.
No. Okay, cool. Lovely. Had a good day?
Crazy day.
Tree hugging?
Tree hug. It started with tree hugging. 7 clients. I love my clients, and my goodness, today they've certainly put me through my paces.
Good. So I just would like everybody to toast. We're going to raise. This year's been an awful year, and I think we need a bit of survival to get us through the rest of this year. And tonight we're going to discuss that. And I just would like to raise a glass and say cheers to everybody. And
cheers.
Welcome to this evening. Thank you. Cheers.
And I think cheers to you as well. I think incredible work that you're doing and the recognition you're getting. You're really inspirational.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah, I don't know if you noticed my feed today. I popped up in the women's magazine. Did you see?
It doesn't surprise me at all. You'll be walking on water next. Incredible. All credit to you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. So we've got a little bit of a guide to go through, haven't we? But
we have. I'm just going to turn the volume up a bit. I'm getting deaf in my old age.
Okay. We're going to sort of go over some self-care really for survival. We think to get you through, especially with perimenopause when that comes along, it can really derail you. So we were going to come up with some strategic plans to help you on your way for the rest of 2020, this unfortunate year. So like I say, personally, I've found nutrition, exercise, and definitely getting outside helps just to keep things at bay and helps keep the mind at bay.
It really does. And you know, my main feed today, I genuinely was out there hugging trees this morning. I knew it was going to be a long day. I knew it was going to be a heavy day. And so every morning I'm out there in nature, listening to an audio book or meditating. That's really, really helps me to kick off the day.
Yeah, I listen to a playlist. It's a motivational one on Spotify. I love it. It makes me cry sometimes. It's so powerful.
Good. Better out than in.
Yeah, and I think, and I didn't realise I needed a little cry, and it does. It just, as you say, once it's out, you can get on with the rest of the day then. So I'll have to put the link in what it is. But so we're looking about exercise and lifestyle and nutrition, and a big word that Menos can't say, no. That word N-O
so no is a complete sentence. Right?
Yeah.
And what we've got to think about is when we don't say no, not only are we disserving ourselves, But how are we not serving the other person by keep showing up for them? What are we teaching them when we keep putting our needs and wants and our best self right to the back of the queue? If it's your children, I think we have an obligation to teach children self-love, self-respect. And we can't say one thing and do another.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree.
So talk it through.
Because when the perimenopause comes and the menopause comes, so some days you just, when the brain fog kicks in, you spent 2 or 3 hours looking at a pile of paperwork or a pile of ironing that's got to be done, and when you're running on empty, you can't, as you say, you haven't got anything to give to everybody else. So it's an important time to look after yourself and really recharge and rest.
It really is. Do you know, make sure that menopause was when I realized what the phrase "your cup runneth over" actually meant. You know, it took me 50 years. And actually what it means is that when your cup runneth over, you have stuff to give others.
Okay, good advice. I like that.
You fill yourself up first, and then the runneth over goes to everybody else.
I love that. It's good. I like that. But it's true though. When you're feeling good and you know, and you've done all the right things, you've looked after yourself with nutrition, exercise, and rest, and it gives you a nice feeling, doesn't it?
It really does. But you know, I mean, I think that menopause is a bit of a shock to the system. It certainly was to me. It knocked me for 6.
Yeah, I remember you said before. Can you tell the followers how you felt?
Yeah, I mean, I was a coach. I've been a coach 10 years by the time I got into menopause. And I'd put my blinkers on, I'd put my earmuffs on. It was la, 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 la. I really didn't want to know about menopause because I didn't want to get old. It was as simple as that. I was clinging on by the skin of my teeth. And when it came, I remember phoning a girlfriend of mine, Audrey Chapman, and saying, Audrey, I don't know what's happening, but I haven't got energy to blink. Well, every time I blinked, it felt as though my eyelids were made of lead.
Yeah, horrible feeling.
It was crazy. I mean, I normally see between 5 and 7 clients a day. I was seeing 1 client a day. That's all I could manage.
Cool.
My body changed, my mind changed. I went to a party. I was standing, you know, I like to hold court. I can tell a story or two, as you can imagine, after a drink. And this is really early. It's like 8 o'clock at night. And I've got a little circle of people. And all of a sudden, sweat. It was like something out of a cartoon. It just poured out of me. So I went to bed at this party at like 9 o'clock in the evening, as people merrily got off their face for the rest of the evening. So I had all night, all bloody evening, all night, I had people coming and sitting on the bed, stroking my head, telling me how much they loved me.
Oh.
No, I wanted to kill them.
Yeah, there's nothing worse than when the hot sweat, when, as you say, when it won't go away either, and being surrounded by people, I bet that made it worse, feel worse as well.
Awful. And the other thing I found, and this might just be me, I never knew what to wear. I went through this ridiculous kind of mutton dressed up as lamb. Then I went frumpy. Then I kind of did something that I can't even describe. And I spent 5 years in no man's land. I just didn't have an identity.
Oh, yeah.
It was really tough.
Yeah, it's hard when that happens, isn't it? Because you sort of, I know personally, you go to pick things that you'd normally wear, and then you think, oh no, I won't look good in that, or I'll put that away, and then you sort of lose your style, don't you? You sort of lose your identity a bit.
It really did. But what I realized after the event, and this is something that I'd really like to share with anybody that's in this phase, is that if you think about it, the times in our life that we change the most are when our hormones go doolally. When we're teenagers, when we're pregnant, and in menopause. Yeah. And those are 3 times we change most as women. We change our identity. So actually, menopause is just the third of the identity shift. And I'm sure there are many, many better ways to do it than I did. But I've got a few tips up my sleeve today that I did learn a lot of lessons.
I was just going to ask you, what tips have you got to give to us to help us through?
I think the first thing is to remember you got through teenage, and you know, whether you had acne or whatever, you know, whatever, teenage was a funny old time, and that was your hormones going crazy. Some of us have got through pregnancy, God knows how, because again, that made us crazy.
Yeah.
But remember how after teenager we became a woman, after pregnancy we became mothers. So we know that after menopause we become elders.
Yep.
Okay? And there's a lot to be said for that.
As much as some of us don't want to be.
Well,
But that's part of it, though, isn't it? I think you have to understand that.
Look at Sharon Stone. Look at Kim Basinger. I mean, I'm a great lover of muses.
Yeah.
And Mae Musk is another one of mine. Mae Musk died, so went natural white when she was 59. She's now in her 60s. Is one of the top models in the world.
Wow.
So life doesn't end at menopause. There's it's called pause for a reason. Our old life pauses. But if we can utilize muses, we can start to identify who we want to be in this next phase of our lives. And I'm 10 years the other side of menopause now. So I consider myself to have developed my elder's stripes.
And you're looking lovely. You're looking awesome.
Well, you're very, very
hair like that.
I have never been so comfortable in my skin.
I've
never been so confident. And I really want to convey this message, because menopause is often seen as a full stop. It's not, it's a comma. Yeah,
definitely. Can you describe sort of that feeling of the power, that feeling of that confidence you get, where you just don't really give a damn?
You've hit the nail on the head.
You see the old ladies that just say those grumpy things, don't we? We see them and we go, why do they say that? But then I think as you get to the other side, you just have that. I think you just get that confidence. But you explain how
it's a really funny one, Lorna, because it hits. You know, 1 minute there I am thinking my life is over, and I was very, very depressed, and at points even suicidal through. You know, I didn't want to be old. Yeah. I just didn't know how to do old, and I didn't want to do old. But having got through to the other side of it, it's like a magic click that says, I just do not give an SCUK anymore. I'm genuinely about what anybody thinks. I am so not impressed easily. And as you've probably seen by my stories, I'm dating. And, you know, you just are impressed by different things. I'm impressed by kindness. I'm impressed by people who are comfortable in their skin. But it's that not giving a toss that is a superpower.
Yeah. So we've got that to look forward to.
You really have.
We've got that to look forward to. So you're going to get that power, and you won't have that worry or anxiety anymore, and you can just do what you want and when you want
on your terms.
Yeah.
And you know, my body has changed. You know, I no longer have a waist, and it took me a long time to make friends with that fact. But I still feel attractive, and I still feel sexy, and I still feel womanly.
Yeah. It's a different, as you say, I think you've got it right, really. You know, after teenage puberty, and then after you've had children, you know, and some women are elegant, don't they? So, you know, it's as you say, if you've got a muse to look up to, and how you want to age, I suppose, should we put it? You know, it's a whole new world out there, really. It's the rest of your life.
And that's what I really want to convey tonight. Think about when you were a teenager and how painful it was, and how you sprouted into this beautiful young woman and you made your way. This is exactly the same, but you've got 50 years of experience to bring to the party. I mean, it's extraordinary.
That's how PeriMenoPost started, really, because when I set it up in my training, we all bounced ideas off one another, and I said, I think I'm going to do the menopause. It's something I wanted to do. And my peer group were a lot younger than me, and they said, no. And I said, no, actually, the wisdom, you know, I'm lucky I've got wisdom on my side. I'm not here, you know, if it does well, it does well. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I just had that, as you say, that bit of confidence of like, I just thought I'm just going to give it a try. So
and
glad,
look
and
what
I'm glad I
happened.
did.
What a walking advert you are.
Thank you. I'm glad I have. Wouldn't be talking to you today.
Well, I'm delighted. I know that a lot of people here are delighted you have too.
Oh, yeah. Welcome, everybody. Thank you. We've got a lot of people joining. So
Good. I can see Alex there. Nice to see.
I think Meg was on there. Meg popped up, but I'll see if she wants to join in. And but we'll keep going.
Yeah.
See if she wants to come on. And so this year's been difficult because of COVID and everyone's been stuck at home, and I think everybody's symptoms have been heightened because they've been used to rushing around, going off to work and dropping the children off, but now they've all been forced at home and running the home, working from home, looking after the children. You know, what tips do you think we could give to women that would, if we go into a second wave again of China?
Well, we are going into, there's no doubt about that. We are going in there.
Yeah.
So the first thing is, let's not get, there's been a lot of good that's come out of lockdown and COVID as well. I know that a lot of people are suffering, but it's forced us to slow down and reevaluate. A lot of people have come to me as new clients who have used this space and time to reevaluate their lives. So I know there's hardships as well, but let's, you know, I think it's important to balance that. And I think as we go into this next phase, it's going to be a very different phase. It's not summer. It's the second time. So it's like the novelty has run out. You're not going to go to the beach. I don't know whether we're going to get paid to do it. So that, you know, it's going to be a lot darker, literally.
Yeah. So I feel dark tonight. I feel like Max Headroom a bit. I just feel like all head.
Max Headroom, I've not heard him for years. That's a brilliant one. But I think that we have to focus our mindset. Okay. And okay, so let's just say the next 6 months is going to be some form of lockdown. I think that's probably realistic.
Yeah.
What do you want to learn? Who do you want to come out the other side as? How do you want to use this 6 months? So rather than dread it, ask yourself how you can use it really positively. I've got clients and friends that are learning the guitar, they're learning languages, they're taking more time for themselves. And certainly when I was menopausal, as I said, I went from 7 clients a day to 1 client a day because I just didn't have that energy.
Yeah.
So I think that it gives us an opportunity to recalibrate the speed at which we live.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. I agree. And I think, and just be gentle on yourself as well. Just
really
try
gentle.
Don't put too much pressure on yourself to get all the to-do list done. Just
for what purpose?
For your body.
That's it. You know, this to-do list is a way we beat ourselves up.
Yeah.
Look at your to-do list. Look at what really needs doing and really what you want to do, and put the rest in a filing cabinet. Don't suffer.
One of my things I wanted to learn through lockdown was Russian. So maybe in 6 months' time we'll do it in Russian.
Russian? Oh my goodness! I've got loads of Russian clients. I hope they're not on, because they'll be giving me a hard time.
And so and it's just sort of the emotional side of menopause, isn't it? We sort of touched on it just a minute ago, like embracing it and accepting. We know the physical symptoms of sort of know what to expect. Perimenopause wasn't really taught at school, and thankfully it's coming out into awareness now. But with World Mental Health Day coming up soon, you know, how can women address if they're feeling anxious and low? What advice would you give?
Accept
it.
Rather than think there's something wrong with you and take a pill.
Yeah.
Accept the fact that this stage of life is a change. It's a change of life. I mean, they used to call it the change. Yeah. Just like your teenage years, just like pregnancy. So you're going through a change in life, and change is always preceded by chaos. And as I said, I mean, I was so depressed. But if you take a tablet, the tablet numbs out all emotions. When I went to the doctor, as I said, it was 10 years ago, and it was a female doctor about my age, and she wanted to put me on sleeping tablets and antidepressants, and I didn't take either.
Yeah.
I just thought, because I didn't want to numb out, I wanted nature. You know, I did take bioidentical hormones, and I would really recommend them.
Yeah.
But when you're feeling sad, rather than judge yourself for being sad, welcome it. It's like an old friend. This is sadness throughout, you know, stuff that you've collected through your life that is finding a way out now. Release it, express it.
That's good advice. I think that's really good advice. And I'll have to put the link of that podcast in that I listened to, because like I say, it's so powerful. It just gets me, it makes you feel good, if that makes sense. But it
really does.
Yeah. So
you know, we've been conditioned, Lorna, in our culture, that if you feel angry, sad, fearful, or ashamed, take a pill, disappear, you know, do something to stop it. No, I want you to actually welcome it, because then you can process it. And you're actually releasing it and healing it.
Yeah, Breeder's just commented that so many prescribed antidepressants, and she likes this advice. Thanks, Breeder.
Yeah.
I remember I got prescribed. I got prescribed gabapentin, and that was doing all weird things to me, and I just stopped that in the end. But I don't know why they gave that.
Well, you know, I think we have to, you know, I'm not a big fan of Big Pharma. I don't take any medication. I don't take painkillers. And I don't, because I believe that our body re-regulates if we take care of it. Oh, I've lost the sound. Is that me or you? Got you back.
My back. Yeah, going back to what you were saying about when the doctor wanted to give you antidepressants, I think as well, part of it, you just know your body's not right. You just know that something's up, don't you? You know that you're not depressed, but you just know something's not ticking right. You just sort of, you can't sit, as you say, you can't sort of sit with the body. You just sort of know something's not.
That's it. You're changing. You see, what we do, we have the expectation, and I was first in the queue here, I had the expectation that I should still feel like I did when I was 40. But actually, all my hormones were kicking in. And I didn't have the knowledge. I mean, you know, menopause wasn't out when I went through it. So I used Oprah Winfrey. Thank God she went, you know, she kind of ahead of the time. But the expectation is that we're just going to sail through this and nothing much is going to happen. It's not a realistic expectation for most of us. Yeah.
Just really just be gentle on yourself and accept.
Just accept and be kind to yourself.
Yeah, because as you say, with pressure, we put pressure on ourselves, and just remembering that what you're going through is a big shift in your body, a big shift in hormones, and a big change.
Huge.
And it's going to take a while to come to terms with it. And I don't know about you, but I just found it was constantly changing, especially like perimenopause. It's 1 week you'll be fine, and then today I've had a hot flash. Today I haven't had a hot flash for ages. So so you never know. So you just have to acknowledge it, and then just let it go. And
thank your body. And you know, your body is doing amazing things. It's taking you, it's that bridge, you know, as I said before, and I really want to bang this home, from your teenage to your woman, from your pregnancy to your mother, and this is into your elder. This is really your wise, solid, don't get an FCUK phase. And when you look at it like that period of time that was incredibly painful, and I'm sure it is for many of you, actually is the time that you're reevaluating what's important to you. Who do you want to be in that next phase? And when you take a muse, so for me at the moment, it's what's his name? Musk, Elon Musk's mother. But find your own and look at the qualities, and anything that doesn't fit with who you want to be in the next phase, start saying no to it.
I like that. Very good. Yeah, I like that.
Say no to what doesn't fit with your next phase.
And another thing I like that you say as well, stay in your lane, and don't compare.
Blinkers on. Oh my God, it was awful, you know, because I'm getting fatter, I'm getting sweatier, and you know, all of these things are happening, and wrinkly and what have you. And of course, I was looking at other people and just making myself feel worse and worse and worse.
Yeah, and I think going through different stages of menopause and perimenopause, it's quite easy to fall into that trap, I think. So,
Yes.
but if you're feeling like that, I think it's the best advice I can give is just go outside, get some fresh air, just go for a nice
Nature.
walk. Yeah, nature. Put the earphones on, hug a tree, and then when you come back in, you'll feel better. And also just sort of surround yourself with happy people, positive people that are on your, don't get caught up in negativity. I think that helps
that's
as well.
brilliant advice, Lorna. Gossip, judgment, all of that kind of stuff is really toxic.
Keeping up with the Joneses and all that, and just that pressure. It's just at this stage of your life, you just got to realise what works for you and what doesn't.
That's it. And remember that most of social media is a facade.
Yeah.
Most of social, I know that there are apps that I can buy that make my waist look 18 inches circumference.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've got them. And I don't use them. I don't use filters and stuff. I made a decision that I was going to be authentic. Now that doesn't, I mean, I have work done, but I don't use filters and what have you. And I think that's another thing. When I went through menopause, I spent huge sums and went through ridiculous amounts of treatments to try and retain my youth. Get really clear on what your deal breaker is, how much you want to spend, how much time, if indeed any, rather than, because there's plenty of people out there are going to sell you. They're just waiting. You're vulnerable.
Yeah, that's a good point actually, because I don't know how many supplements and things I've bought in this period of time, and before you know it, you spent a fortune on all these tablets that are going to do amazing things. So I think as long as you just stick to a good diet, good nutrition, just practice regular self-care. You can't beat a nice warm bath.
Exercise and stretch. It's really important. One of the things I'm noticing, and as I say, I'm way the other side of menopause now, but I have to do exercise and stretch, otherwise I seize up. Not very sexy, but the truth.
I know where you're coming from, especially when it gets colder as well.
It's not funny. It takes me 5 minutes to get moving in the morning, but once I'm off, I'm not, I'm like a little robot. I'm all right then.
And have you noticed that certain exercises you could do when you were younger, you can't do now? Have you things that I know for me, like certain exercises, I've had to really evaluate now what I can and can't do. And you have to listen to your body, don't you?
Your body is changing. So one of the things, I mean, I've always been a dancer, and so my knees are not great. So I have to moderate my exercise routine around the fact I've got old dancer's knees. But I can't over recommend yoga. There's loads of great online yoga. Yoga 2-3 times a week is going to keep you supple. And one of the things about aging, and if you look around, is that people start to hunch up. Their physiology is one of the first things I notice. So yoga and walking in nature, I think they're absolutely top priority. And rather than looking after someone else, just say, no, I need to go and do my self-care in the morning. Yoga and walking in nature, it's a game changer. Yeah,
it just gives you that power for the rest of the day, doesn't it? Just to think you've had that time to yourself, and just sort of clear the mind and just have some peace and quiet, and then you can get through the day.
Also, it's if you keep your joints supple, you're gonna be so pleased with yourself later on. Just those few years later.
Well, I need to let you in on something else actually. It was another one of my to-do
lists. Oh, is this a secret? I can feel a secret coming up.
It's a little bit of a secret. I've qualified as a Pilates instructor, so I'm teaching Pilates as well now. So I shall be.
My life. So have you thought about doing a Meno Pilates class for all of us here? Oh, bless you. Thank you.
I'm thinking of doing it maybe on World Menopause Day. I thought I might do a little session on the Sunday morning.
Fantastic.
just a beginner's class. So if everybody wants to sign up, I'll put it all on a post and you can.
Brilliant idea. A brilliant idea. I love that. And I mean, are we going to talk about sex or not?
What do you think?
I think we should talk about sex, because I think that one of the biggest things about menopause is it changes not only our sexuality, but it changes our sex hormones. That's the best way I can look at it. So, you know, we need more lube.
Yeah.
We need to also acknowledge there's going to be a period of time for most of us where sex, frankly, you remember Boy George said, I'd rather have a cup of tea. I think he was menopausal. I get that. I never thought I would say that. I've always loved sex.
Yeah.
Here's the great news, is that once you get through, once I've got through that horrible phase, my libido has bounced back. I perhaps don't want to be, I don't want to be quite as adventurous as I used to be. And as I said, I've got dodgy knees these days. But the great news is that it does come back.
Okay. Oh, there you go, girls. We're going to be good. We're going to be good.
I think it's important because our sexuality is important to us, but I think also we don't have distraction. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
You know, we're not worried about getting pregnant.
No,
we know what we like. We're more confident. Yeah. I reckon that us menopausal, post-menopausal chicks, we got it going on.
Oh yeah, I agree, definitely. Because I think when you're a teenager, you're so, I suppose you're just consumed with hormones and lust, I suppose, that lovely word lust. But whereas now you can just, I suppose you can just take your time. You can think, no, actually, on my, as you said, on my terms. You can
absolutely. And you know, whether you have picnics in bed or I think you just create a new type of sexuality. And when I hit menopause, I was terrified because my I've always, as I say, loved sex, and it just packed its bags and it just left. And the great thing is that it's come back, but in such a different way. It's really that comfortable in my skin and you know, yes, on our terms. And you know, that's real girl power, that is.
Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to that then. I think, and also just little things like just go for a walk with your partner, just going for a nice walk, just to have a talk, just to get out of the house sometimes is all you need, or just a cuddle. It doesn't have to be full sex.
It doesn't have to be full sex at all. And somebody was saying, somebody's quite rightly, that's Midlife Women Rock. Sexuality and loving ourselves is interlinked. And I think you've hit the nail on the head there. When you really love yourself, and I don't know many women that have achieved this pre-menopause, I think absolutely appreciating yourself is kind of part of the rite of passage. Yeah. And when you love yourself, sex just changes.
Yeah.
You're not doing it for somebody else.
Yeah, yeah. You're getting your own pleasure
and you know how to do it. And on that subject, I think we also need to talk about the single women. Because one of the things that not many people talk about is the vaginal walls harden.
Okay.
And it was a bit of a shock to me, I've got to be honest. But there's a fantastic new vibrator out called the Womanizer 2.
Oh, okay.
And it is quite small, but it also has a little suction cup. And I would highly recommend it. Because it will keep the walls supple. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, keep it healthy and
keep it healthy. Yeah. And you know, if you don't use it, you lose it. And I know I went through a few years where I just didn't want to use it. Yeah,
yeah. And also to get that, and I think when you're in that sort of moment as well, you don't feel like it either, do you? Sometimes you think, oh not today.
No, I mean, genuinely, for a good few years, I was quite happy to be celibate.
Yeah.
I think that's okay.
I'm glad you got your mojo back.
I got my mojo back and some.
So what was that called again? Just for the followers, it was called
called the Womanizer 2, and Womanizer is with a Z. I bought mine at Love Honey, and they had about 20% off. It is expensive. I think it's about 199 quid, but on the with the deal it's about 150. But I absolutely, it's waterproof as well, in case that matters. But honestly, it's a lovely, I got a lovely burgundy color as well, so it's really classy, and it comes in a little pouch. It has changed it. I've recommended it to everybody I know.
Okay, we'll keep our eyes peeled for that one then. We'll have a look out for that one.
Do.
So I think we come to the end of the evening, I think. You're still there?
I'm still here. You still here?
Yeah. Sorry, I'm having technical problems. I think we've covered everything really tonight, haven't we? I know we finished when we saw you at Meg's Menopause. You did your lovely speech on stage, and you got us all dancing and singing to Giant. What would you how would you like to finish this evening? What would you like to?
Well, think about the lyrics of Giant. I will never forget Meg's Menopause. That conference, particularly the finale, where we just all became one. And I think in menopause, it's very, very easy to isolate and think you're on your own. Or think that everybody else is doing it better. And you know what? You've got here with scars, with stripes, you've got, slices, bites taken out of you, chunks taken out of you. That's what life has done. Own it with pride. Own this phase of your life, and with absolute pride, because not everybody gets here, and it's a real honor. It really is.
I had some sad news just a couple of weeks ago, and it really makes you, a friend passed away, and it just makes you realise, we are getting older, but you've got to be thankful for every day. And
absolutely, and we've got an obligation to focus on who we want to be, what we want from this next period of life. I'm 60 next year. That gives me another, let's say, 20 years. That is a really sobering thought. Wow. That makes me think, okay, get very, very clear how these 20 years, what do I want from them? What's important to me? And I'd recommend that. I mean, is it okay to ask if anybody's got a question?
Is there any questions on there? I'll go through the comments and see if we've got some.
I've been keeping a little eye on the comments. I couldn't see any questions.
Menopause Embassy said that talk about sex during menopause is an important thing to talk about, so that was good. Michelle, Midlife Women Rock, that's Breeder. She's saying, Michelle,
Midlife Women, we do rock. Absolutely, we rock. Cheers to that.
Breeder's mentioned again, prescribed antidepressants. So I think we touched on that at the time.
Yeah.
I'll check if we got.
Okay, but there's no questions coming up there. We've got a lot of people just joining us now, ironically. But if you've got any really inspiring, thank you. That's lovely to hear. Made in Derbyshire.
I had a question. How long did your perimenopause last?
All my life. I don't know that I was that clued up about it all. As I say, I was still in nightclubs at 46, 47. I was still full of mischief. And it hit me literally like a brick. And then once it started, and I reckon I was 47, I went into full menopause at about 50. And then I would say that period took a good 5 years of change for me to assimilate and then come out the other side. So, but what I would say is really take care of your diet, take care of your exercise. Self-care, self-love are more important than ever at this stage of our lives. They really are.
And the word no.
And the word no, but not always in the bedroom.
Oh, no. Oh, yes.
Yes. No.
Oh, we've had some nice comments on this. So it's been lovely. A lovely evening. We've got another one planned, haven't we? We're going to bring another survivor.
We absolutely are going to do another one. And
Yeah.
if anybody's got anything that you want me to particularly look at, just ping it over to Lorna and we'll make that happen.
Okay, sounds lovely. And what mantra could you give to us to end on? What sort of, I know we said keep the blinkers on, and
is keep the blinkers on and love yourself. Love yourself for being sweaty. Love yourself for being bad-tempered. Love yourself for going through this phenomenal phase of evolution. You're becoming an elder. And as you become an elder, you have, I can't come up with another word, it's superpowers. You're going to bring the wisdom, and you are going to not give an FCUK. And when you've got wisdom and don't give an FCUK, trust me, magic happens.
Something's just popped into my head. Frozen. Just let it go. Just got to
Let it go. Do we know how
No.
does that song go? I can't sing. I didn't know. That just stopped me before.
Shall I sing as
Go
I'm
on.
on a bit of a
You
path
do
at the
it.
moment?
Go on, you do
I
it.
don't know the words. Let it go.
Let it go. Let it go.
I don't know the rest of the words. That's the best you're going to get tonight.
What a finale. Let it go.
Let it go.
But just honestly, just accept yourself. You're going through a tough phase, probably the toughest phase in your entire life. And it's and you know what they say, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Menopause is absolutely that thing. Most women are not aware of menopause. Yeah, we don't want to know.
Oh, can you not hear me?
We can again now. That was your
Okay.
singing. Of course, we need to hear you.
I can't see if we've got any more questions. No, I think that's it. I think.
Lots of thank yous. I love a thank you. Thank you for your thank yous.
Lots of inspiring and smiley faces, and I'm pleased to see some laughter. That's good. We brought some laughter to people this evening.
And I think that's another thing about menopause. I think, you know, remember I was saying to you about that party where I just literally started perspiring like something out of a cartoon. I had to laugh at myself.
Yeah, you have to. Yeah,
in a loving way.
Yeah, and I remember when I've told the story loads of times, but in Sainsbury's, and I remember the lady was doing it so quickly through the checkout, whizzing the items through the checkout, and I was getting all hot and bothered because I had a big coat on and I was having a hot flush, and I just stood there and I sounded like Scooby Doo, and I went all like and I just got the giggles because I thought, oh no, I sound like my mum and my nan with the noises they made, and then I just got into a fit of hysterics. So
that's so cute,
and it just lifts that embarrassment, I suppose. I just didn't care really. I just thought, oh, but so there you go. So if you get a Scooby Doo moment, just let it go.
I love Scooby Doo, and I think you're amazing.
And you, lovely. Thanks, Michelle.
Great to see you all, and thanks for tuning in. And I look forward to our next one.
Yes, me too. Take care. Lots of love. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.